Nah. Oh, you've got to be joking, haven't you? No. Three, maybe four. No, nothing like that. You know that moon? Yeah. Not that one. Yeah. So apparently it has a gravitational pull, okay? And it's pulling on the water and it's creating a tidal bulge along, you know that the equator, the where it spins and the axis thing? Yeah, a tidal bulge. They are. The four of them. Bay of Fundy, yeah, yeah. Bristol, yeah, and the Cook in there. So they have a tidal bulge because of the moon, right? And at the top of the planet, they have the four highest tides. Oh, it's where the least of the tidal action is along the tidal bulge. I know, right? That was the slack water period. But it can't be the moon, can it? No, the people, they're teaching it. I have no idea. They can't work it out. Well, they're either liars or they're stupid, aren't they? Teaching that. I, I don't know, but they just don't think. Well, they know about the high tides where they are. They know about the bulge. They know that there's hardly any tidal action where the bulge is supposed to be, and then the slack water period. Yeah, yeah. So there's a slack water period for an hour. Exactly. It's beyond me. That was the trees. Did you get rid of them? You can have this place next, mate. I know, I know. What else can you do? You just hope that they realize that the people teaching this stuff are either stupid or lying, don't you? Hang on. They've been listening to me. Yeah? Right, I've got to go. Right, bye. Hello, hola, hello, hola. How's it going? How long have you been watching? How long have you been watching? Private call, right? Don't like being interrupted. What's happened here? I was just talking to somebody, right? We run some planets, a few solar systems, that kind of thing. Now, they're either lying to people down here or they're just all stupid and they're just teaching whatever they think makes sense. But what you do need to understand is if the moon thing is creating a bulge along the midriff of the planet, as it spins anti-clockwise, not clockwise, like in some of the NASA animations, I might add, as it spins counterclockwise, doesn't lose. Let's try. There's not a drop comes off of it. As it spins, tidal bulge in the areas where there is the least tidal action. Can you hear that little contradiction in terms? There's a tidal bulge along the equator where there is the least tidal action. A bit off, isn't it? There's a tidal bulge along the equator, and the four highest tides are all up north. That's off as well, isn't it? It's all a little bit off. So we've come to the conclusion that the people who are teaching about the bulge and stuff, right, that they're stupid or that they're lying to you. Now, you'd think this is the bit that we don't get. Why are people not working this out on their own? Why are people not going, hang on, they're telling us that there is a bulge along the equator, that the moon's doing it, right? But as that's happening, the 4 highest tides are all happening up north, way, way away from the bulge. Now, why is it that people would stick, I haven't got long, would stick with believing the bulge? Why? Why can't people work it out on their own? Why does it take an out-of-towner to come and point out the freaking obvious? Why? Why? What is it that is preventing people from going, hang on, 1 + 1 there is equaling 3? Why? How can you not work out that they're either stupid or that they're lying to you? I think they're lying to you, along with other lies. Don't forget the slack water period. Moon spinning, orbiting a spinning globe, anti-clockwise, mind, not clockwise, like some of the NASA animations. Not there, not like that, like that. It doesn't spin like that, it spins like that. What am I missing? What kind of sorcery, what kind of hocus pocus have they done that is not allowing people on their own to go 4 highest tides, moon, bulge, but the least tidal action around the bulge? Mediterranean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, the Bahamas, they have these really non-existent tides along the bulge. How can that be? Why can't people do that on their own? Why? It's a mystery, isn't it? Now, I just had a conversation with one of my compadres, and he's curious as well. He says, try and find out what it is. Do they put something in the water, maybe, that is preventing people from working out the fucking obvious? Is it something in the dairy, in the milk, maybe? Have to go through this massive globe checklist. Did you have milk this morning? Like, it's going to take ages, isn't it? Just to see if there's a correlation, something we can pinpoint. You know, why are people believing stupid stuff? Why can't they work it out on their own? Why can't people understand that when there's a tidal bulge and it's the least amount of tidal action in the tidal bulge, that there's something off? I'm being facetious, aren't I? I can't help it anymore because I don't know where else to go. When you keep telling people the truth and you point out facts, 4 highest tides are bing, 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 bing. That tidal bulge where there's hardly any tidal action. See that one? There's a tidal bulge running along there where the least of the tidal action is on the whole planet. There's a bulge there. It's a tidal bulge. Planet spins into the bulge, water, but that's where the least of the action is. All of the countries along the tidal bulge hardly see any tides. The big tides are all up north, away from the tidal bulge. See, I can't, doesn't matter how I word it. We've got a tidal bulge along the center of the equator there. Okay, it runs around, orbits, moon. And along that tidal bulge, it's where the least of the water action is. That sounded terrible, didn't it? Look, I'll give anything a try. Por el centro de la planeta tenemos agua. Hay un montón de agua aquí. Que la luna, que le da caña al agua. Pero que no hay agua. ¿Sabes? Que va en círculos así. La luna está tirando con el agua. Venga, 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 venga. Aquí. ¡Wow! Agua. Agua aquí. Pero no hay agua. No hay agua. Y los 4 países con la agua más honda, ¿cómo se llama? Las mareas más grandes están todas aquí arriba, en el norte. Pero la luna, la gravedad, por el centro, aquí. Un montón de agua. Pero no hay agua. Está todo aquí arriba. See? I'll give anything a go. The question is, why are people accepting 1 + 1 = 27 squared? And it's obvious. And they argue. What are you talking about? What do you mean the 4 highest tides are up at the top? There's no bulge. What are you talking about? Of course there's a bulge. It's along the equator. That's where the bulge is. And the 4 highest tides are up north. It's perfectly kosher. And that slack water period in, stop for an hour, and then out. All of it works together like a dream. Timeanddate.com. Newton. Timeanddate.com. We'll get back to that one. Where do we go from here, folks? Where do we go? We've got the 4 highest tides up north and a bulge, gravitational pull from the moon. It's moving the tides, a bulge, right in the area where's the least of the tidal action. How do you... There must be something in the water. You think? That's making people so... Not the people. The people teaching it. They're either stupid or they're lying to you. Which one do you think it is? How long? 12, coming up to 13. I think that's a wrap. I will be back. Oh yes,